Rage room workers, what's the most disturbing thing you've ever seen? I work at Smash Zone downtown, and let me tell you, we get all kinds of weirdos. People come in to break stuff when they're pissed about divorces, job losses, whatever. But this one guy from last month still gives me chills. It was a Tuesday afternoon, super slow. This dude walks in wearing a wrinkled button-up shirt and jeans that looked like he'd slept in them. He's got these balloons tied around his wrist, the cheap kind from dollar stores. Red, blue, yellow, real cheerful looking. "Hey there," he says with this big smile. "I'd like your basic package, please." I'm thinking, okay, birthday boy wants to blow off some steam. Happens all the time. But then I notice his hands are shaking as he fills out the waiver. Not nervous shaking, like he'd been drinking too much coffee for 3 days straight. "Actually," he says, looking up from the paperwork, "can I bring my own stuff to Smash? I've got some personal items. We allow it sometimes if it's safe." He pulls out this beat-up shoebox from a backpack. Inside, there's random junk. An old digital clock with a cracked screen, a Superman lunchbox that's all dented up, and maybe 6 or 7 VHS tapes. "Nothing dangerous?" he says, reading my face. "Just some old memories I need to get rid of." I check everything over. No glass, no chemicals, nothing sharp, just weird old stuff that smelled like basement storage. "Can I get the room with the brick wall?" he asks. "The one that echoes really good?" That's room 3. Most people want the padded rooms because they're quieter, but whatever. I suit him up in safety gear and show him in. Here's where it got freaky. I always watch through the window for safety reasons. Usually people go nuts immediately. Screaming, crying, throwing stuff around like maniacs. This guy, dead silent. He picks up the alarm clock first, holds it like it weighs 50 pounds. Then he starts whispering to it. I can't hear what he's saying through the glass, but his lips are moving the whole time. After maybe 2 minutes of this, he raises it over his head and smashes it against the brick wall. Same thing with the lunchbox. Whispers to it, then destroys it with the baseball bat we provide. The VHS tapes he crushes one by one under his boot, still talking to each one before he destroys it. The whole thing takes him maybe 20 minutes. I'm starting to think he's done when he reaches into the box one more time. He pulls out a piece of paper. Even from the window I can tell it's a kid's drawing. You know how they look with those thick crayon lines and stick figures. He unfolds it real careful and just stares at it. For 10 solid minutes, this guy stands there holding this drawing, not moving, barely breathing. I'm starting to wonder if I should check on him when he suddenly folds it back up, sets it on the little table in the middle of the room, and walks out. "All done," he says, like nothing happened. Pays in cash, tips me $20, and leaves with those stupid balloons still tied to his wrist. I go in to clean up the room and it's trashed. Bits of plastic and metal everywhere. But that drawing is sitting perfectly folded on the table, untouched. I almost threw it away, but something felt wrong about it, so I stuck it in our lost and found box instead. 3 hours later, 2 cops show up. They're looking for a guy who matches his exact description. Turns out he was wanted in connection with some old case that got reopened. Something about stolen evidence and abuse charges from way back. They asked if we still had the stuff he brought. I showed them the destroyed pieces, told them about the drawing. When I pulled it out of Lost and Found, one of the cops went white. "That's evidence from a 20-year-old case," he said. "This drawing was supposed to be locked up in evidence storage." Apparently, the guy had broken into his old house the night before and stolen a bunch of stuff from some hidden room. The tapes had recordings on them that were key evidence in his case. He'd destroyed them all. The cops took the drawing as evidence. They caught him 2 days later at his ex-wife's house, still wearing those balloons. Turns out it was his birthday, all right.